Hey guys, thanks for coming all the way to Williamsburg. Why don't you come in and I'll show you how I prep for a big shoot day. So right now I'm just showing you guys some sketches I've done before in the past. So I used to carry a sketchbook with me everywhere and pencils and pens. It's basically Polaroids and everything I've ever used on every person I've ever touched, including skincare, eyeshadows, foundation colors. So that way if I can think of the person again and have to reference a shoot, I know exactly what I used on that day. But it's so nice to be able to look back on this and remember, oh, this was for the Super Bowl, you know, the Met Ball. Something I cherish, for sure. The iPad has changed my life because I'm able to sketch and able to pull references together to send immediately to clients. So typically I'll get a picture of the dress, so I'll know what my client is wearing beforehand. So this one's actually one that I worked on last year. I was working with actress Sadie Sink. A lot of times where I'm on a group chat with the hairstylist and the stylist, always just collaborating and making sure we have all the parts together and everything is seamless and cohesive. So once I have all the references and kind of have an idea of what I want to do, I'll make a face chart on my iPad. For this picture, we use soft washes of pink. So I really want it to look like watercolor and not have it seem like pink eyeshadow, but really just like a dreamy, muted pink. So this is a face chart I just recently completed for an actress for one of the premiere looks. I kind of wanted this plum-stained burgundy lip and a really soft plum shadow as well. So I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to pull and how I prep for a look like this. So inside my makeup backstock, I like to separate everything and label them in clear bins so I'm able to see exactly what's inside. Brow gels are always a staple. Eyeliners, black and brown, always a staple. Mascara, always a staple. Those are things I never really take out and change. The things I really take out and change are more like foundation colors, lipsticks, and skincare. So I'm pulling out some plum wine burgundy tones. I mean, I can usually see the color see through, so I'll be able to pick the tone that I want. But I really want it to be like a deep, like almost like a rose petal lip. So I'm gonna find textures that really show that. So like a matte velvet texture, a liquid lip, something that gives me the pigment that I'm looking for that's buildable. I feel like a lot of times using just one color it's very one-dimensional. What I like to do a lot is use a lip liner. So if I want to really create depth, I'll use like a deeper lip liner and then maybe a lipstick in the middle and just let it blend together. I think it creates depth and texture, and I love the way two colors, when they merge together, or even three colors, it just creates a whole new color that I didn't think was possible. So with foundations, it depends on the jobs that I'm doing. So if I'm working with a certain client, I already know their skin tone, I'll typically know exactly what to bring. So if it's an editorial, I really like it to look like skin. So I'll typically tend to take out a water-based foundation. I'll bring a tinted moisturizer. I'll bring a cream foundation that's all in the same family. If it's something for like a commercial or TV, I'll tend to pick something that has a little bit more coverage, just with the bright lights, and so it looks perfect. So typically before I add anything new to my kit, I always test it on myself for at least a week to see how it wears on my face after a couple hours, if I'm going to have a reaction to it. Is it going to be too shiny? Is there going to be residue left? Is it going to cake into lines? If they pass those tests, then immediately they get added to my kit. What makes a good red carpet look to me is when you can still see skin and it looks youthful but glowing, enhancing what they've already got. I have these little touch-up kits that I make for my girls. This is a little puff that I'll usually put their powder on and wrap it around in a Kleenex so they're able to get their T-zone before hitting the red carpet. A little blot paper, depending on how shiny they get. A Q-tip, spoolie for their brows. We gotta make sure the brows are groomed. A lip brush. I do a little jar of their lipstick color or sometimes concealer, depending if they need a little more coverage. And a mint when they're ready to get on the carpet. My friends always make fun of me because every time they do call me, I'm always packing or unpacking my kit. I usually light some candles. I watch some pretty embarrassing bad TV. It's like my thing. It's my way of relaxing. This is my life in one suitcase, and I'm ready for my next job.